So I realized the other day that there is a dessert um, that people outside of Canada aren't aware of, so I'm going to share it. It's called a Nanaimo bar, and I was just looking up for like a wiki page or whatever, just to like show you what like a recipe. And one of the first results was from Nanaimo.ca, and so Nanaimo is a town in BC, and they love that Nanaimo bar because everywhere in Canada you can get like a Nanaimo bar. Everybody knows what a Nanaimo bar is in Canada, but I guess this town is just like we have nothing else going on. We are known for this candy basically, and so I posted that in the chat. It's really good,
I've
and
never heard of these.
I would recommend if you're into like baking or whatever, just make them yourselves. They're like super good. Like you can just they're really easy like homemade shit. Like everybody who's ever cooked anything can cook a Nanaimo bar.
I hate coconut. But...
The USA, they're called prayer bars.
Prayer bars?
Prayer bars. There's a variation known as prayer bars. It's also popular in the
There's
Midwest.
no way.
That's cringe.
I'm sad now.
God.
Prayer bars?
It's so American.
That's like calling freedom fries. That's like calling French fries freedom fries.
That's so disgusting.
I like
what the hell?
Oh.
Why did you teach me this?
It might be false, you know.
No, I just looked up prayer bars and I'm looking at something that looks like a Nanaimo bar.
Okay.
Oh no!
Like why the fuck? That's disgusting.
I like how this image for the nano bar looks like a movie poster. It's like featuring graham crumbs, coconut and cocoa, sugar and butter, custard middle, and chocolate layer.
Oh my god, I'm exactly alike.
I'm actually just disgusted. Why would you change the name to prayer? Like just so if someone finds it delicious, they don't have to learn that another city in another country exists. Like couldn't have them possibly I can't explain to my kids what Nanaimo is. We can't have that.
Explain. You have to say prayer bar.
It's like
I'm so sad.
Pop.
Prayer
if you have
bars.
to do that, then we have to explain Canada exists.
What the
fuck?
I'm so mad.
Wait.
Same fucking energy. It's the same energy as like, oh, we can't teach kids what rice balls are, so we'll pretend they're eating
jelly donuts. America is very upsetting.
Yeah. Why do you have to change
prayer bars? Prayer.
If you don't like it, you just change it. It's like if you don't like something.
What's wrong with Nanaimo bar? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I will say.
I've worked out they can't say Nanaimo.
As an American, America also upsets me. So
it's because they can't say Nanaimo.
There's nothing wrong with Nanaimo bars.
Let's go back to prayer bars. I finally found out why they're called prayer bars.
Because it's America and people pray there.
Yeah, because it says the recipe for these no-bake bars is from a 60s church fundraising cookbook. So that's why they're called prayer bars.
Oh.
That's a lie.
Oh yeah, so you don't even have to bake it. Well, let's find out. Every popular food item is like disputed with origin of like 2 places. Like the California roll, there's like a Japanese sushi chef in Vancouver that's like, I made that. Even though you would think that it's California, but we don't know because it's disputed. And there's like literally two people saying, I made that. Right? Apparently Canada invented basketball, like that's disputed. Let's see. I'm going to look this up. Voice crack.
I mean, like, yeah, I think that backstory of like it was
okay.
60s textbook. That's just the Americans covering their asses.
Basketball was invented by a Canadian while he was teaching in Massachusetts.
You're talking about Dr. Naismith? Is it Dr. Naismith?
James Naismith in 1891.
This is kind of like how pizza, or like how pizza was originated. Like, wasn't it like an Italian going to America and then he made pizza there, and now it's considered like an American food?
Yeah, New York. He was.
Oh, this is so funny. Sorry, I'm looking at like just underneath on Google. there was one of these like pre-filled questions. What sport did Canada invent? And then one of the pre-filled answers is the Canadian invented sports: lacrosse, basketball, 5-pin bowling, which is just like if you didn't invent bowling, like which one came for? Is this just a variation? Ringette and wheelchair rugby, which is like another one of those
rugby.
like if you didn't invent rugby, did you really invent wheelchair rugby?
I love the way that the reason that rugby is this is like they got the name rugby from because it got developed at the town of Rugby.
Oh, that's
the only reason they called it rugby.
Well, it's like a Nanaimo bar.
Yeah,
you don't even have
just...
to bake a Nanaimo bar. It's a no-bake dessert.
Easy. Fucking shithousery to the max. It's great.
I can't. I'm still like just upset at the prayer bar.
Did you see?
We're
I'm
back
like
to
looking
the
it up
prayer
right
bar,
now.
everybody.
I'm proud of that, man. I found that.
You can't get over it, huh?
That's awesome.
I'm just like, well, I'm trying to find like a more definitive thing. So like the thing that I was looking at, the Canadian Encyclopedia.ca. It was talking about the Nanaimo bar origin, and then it mentions prayer bars. And it says there's a variation known as prayer bars, popular in the American Midwest. But I want to know like when did that start? Like which one was first? Clearly, I mean, I'm led to believe Nanaimo bars came first, but now I want to know.
Oh God!
Like if I met a Midwestern and I showed up and I was like, oh, Nanaimo bars, they'd be like, no, that's prayer bars, and I would try to convince them, and I'd say that's a variation of a Nanaimo bar, and you just ruined the name, but they wouldn't have that, right? So I want the real information. I need to investigate.
I'm just imagining somebody like, hey, would you like a prayer bar? Actually.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like I think you're gonna have one of those documentaries in the future where it's gonna be
Kimba
a Nanaimo bar or is it prayer bar first?
Yeah.
We've asked unbiased sources.
Suspicious.
Circling back to those bars for a second, I investigated a little further because I was curious, and of all the references, the original thing for it, apparently it's widespread. Apparently, I didn't realize that, but they have different versions in Europe and North America and stuff, and it's highly debated apparently, but it came out in the 1930s. That's where it dates back to, in a town in Canada. That's about it.
Nice.
So it did come from Canada. Canada wins this one.
That's right.
And even if they didn't, you guys worship these according to the Wikipedia page anyway, so it's yours.
We deserve
Still in
this.
prayer bars.
It's irony. You worship.
You earned it.
Yeah.
They need to add that. Yeah,
They
need to add that to the Canada Wikipedia page. It is also the home to where the true Nanaimo. What was it?
Yeah.
Nanaimo bars
Nanaimo.
originated.
My personal theory is someone traveled to Canada and heard this recipe and put it in a cookbook in like the South or something.
Yeah.
And it somehow ended up there and got a different name.
Yeah. Developed probably by a
prayer
who decided prayer.
Yeah, it's definitely
Want a prayer bar?
Yeah. The recipe showed up in a Christian cookbook that just had like a bunch of different names that are Christian related.
It's a Christian cookbook. It came from somewhere in the South.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I may be biased though because I'm in New York, so.
Can you get fat on Nanaimo bars? Yeah, but it's marketed as dessert, whereas everything in America is like worse for you than Nanaimo bars, and it's marketed as a meal. It's like normalized as like, oh, this is your meal, not like a tiny thing you eat after the fact on like special occasions. Like everything's fucking fried and lard and just like Jesus Christ.
What were those bars called again?
They're called Nanaimo bars, not prayer bars. I'm so mad about that.
Hey guys, it's July 2022. Here are the $10 patrons. Tyler, Joel999, Wrigglemoss, Speak of the Joker, Melly, Black Mama 1993, Mitzi Marcella, Yup, Caden Mack, Andre Philippe, Charisma, The Super One Player, Jacob Arndt, Zachary Kane, Sam Joel, Cheat.exe, Gothic Sith, Mandelbro, Wales, Bothadago, Gabriel Herrera, Hufido, and Lemonade Warrior is participating in the hit game Among Us and is considered the encroacher. 2 things before I sign off. 1. There's a Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble. 2. If you want to watch a video that isn't ready for release or whatever reason, then you can see it by pledging $10 on the YMS Highlights Patreon. You will, of course, also be in the credits. Thank you, and take care.